Hi and welcome to another demo of TextureMind framework. What you are seeing on screen is the GUI system of the framework. In this case, I'm going to show you a new widget of this GUI system that is the text box. In a window we have two text boxes. One is rendering basically a source code, and the other one is a text box with justified text. And as you can see, while I resize the window containing the two text boxes, you see that the size of the text boxes is readapted in real time, and also the content. For instance, the text box with the justified text is readapted to the new widget size, and also the text box with the source code is readapting the scroll bars. So you can also interact with the text boxes. You can click on it, you can see the cursor. I tried to implement all the features that you can find in a Notepad, Notepad++, or Visual Studio and softwares like that. For instance, I can write some text on it. I can delete the text. I can click on return and add more lines. I can delete lines. I can select the text. I can copy. I can delete it. I can make multiple copies. And the text is copied not in the internal storage of the application, but in the operating system clipboard, which is a cool stuff if you want, for example, copy to another application with support for the operating system clipboard, like all the application with a text box, basically like Notepad or Notepad++ and so on. For instance, I can copy back this text from the Notepad to my text box. I can change the tab spaces with the tab button. Basically, I can access to all the features required to edit source code and other kind of text. I can also write on the other text box. I can copy and paste. I can also make multiple lines and activate the scroll bar. So I can go up and down, and I can see the changes that I applied in real time. I can also select all the text and delete it if I don't like it. For instance, I can there is also support for Unicode characters. I can copy from this page, which has Bulgarian characters, I guess. I can copy and paste to this text box, and I can see that the characters are rendered correctly. I can also resize to show you that the text is readapted and indented correctly. So returning back to the text box with the source code, I am showing you how the tab spaces are handled. I can shift forward and backward the tab spaces. I can also eliminate tab spaces. And I can also bring back, selecting what is in the between brackets, like I would do with an advanced text editor. And this is just the widget, the basic widget to manage text boxes. So I can show that another feature, I can select the entire text with Control plus the A button, and I can also delete the entire text that I selected. I can go to another text editor like Notepad++ with another source code. I can select the source code, copy the source code, and then copy back the source code to my text box. As you can see, the text is rendered correctly. The scroll bar is adapted in real time, and you can also, like before, resize the window. You can go full screen and see the changes applied. You can also that the same changes are applied in the other text box. So basically you can edit, you can introduce new lines, delete new lines, make multiple selections with the keyboard. In this time I'm using the keyboard. You can also do the same, selecting with the mouse pointer. You can also scroll the text box, the content of the text box with the mouse pointer. You can scroll the text up and down, and as you can see, the scroll bar is updated in real time. You can also make a selection, keep the selection, and scroll the text up and down, and you can see that the selection is maintained, like in a regular Notepad text box. This is another feature that I'm going to show you. You can also rotate or apply, you can also apply other kind of geometry transformation, and you can keep the same collision detection and degree of interaction with the widget without any impact in the quality. You can also select, go up and down. This was very difficult to implement, let me tell you, because it's not a matter of apply a matrix transformation, but you can be sure that you have to be sure that the collision is applied correctly, converted from the screen space to the widget space, and so on. Another interesting feature is that the Unicode text is calculated in real time to basically create the textures which are used to render the text, only if the character is actually used. So basically, if I delete these, all the characters are freed from the internal storage, and so also the textures used to render the characters are deleted, and the memory is freed.